I have $20 and I want to see if I can make my dream dress. Hi, my name is Sadasa and I have a passion for fashion. These are my inspiration photos for the kind of dress that I want to make. I want it to be backless. I want it to have a lot of that ruching detail. I want it to have that layered ruffled skirt. So I know Hobby Lobby is having a fabric sale right now, so I'm gonna check there first for fabric since we're on a budget. I just love filming in public, but I mean it's Hobby Lobby. So many options for fabric. I think I'm gonna go with this pink one. Maybe that like pink one. Okay. I clipped my mic to me. Maybe you can hear me. I'm thinking if I did an accent color in this, they look way less vibrant on this camera. But I was thinking maybe these like together. And then this is like the accent. I don't know. I don't know. The fabric is on sale. So we'll see if we can get it for less than $20. Okay, I need to go into Walla World for elastic, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not filming in Walla World, so I'll be right back when I have the elastic. I secured the goods. Bought elastic at Walmart because it was cheaper there. This is for my straps because I thought it'd be a cute accent color. This pinky color is for the lining, and then this fuchsia color is for the main dress because I love this color. Hopefully you can see the vibrance in these colors now that we're in my office, because in the store it was looking very muted. They are very bright. I'm hoping this will be a sleigh, and you'll have to wait till the end to know if I was able to get all this for $20 or not. Okay, you're gonna need 4 measurements in order to make this dress. The first measurement you're gonna need is across your bust. You're just gonna wanna go from the side of your boob to the other side of your boob at the widest point of your boobies. Mine is 17. Then you're gonna wanna go around your waist. Wherever you're gonna want the skirt to hit, that's gonna be where the waist is. Mine is 31. Then you're going to want to measure from where you want the top of the bodice to your waist. Mine is 12 inches. Then you're going to want to measure from the waist to where you want your first layer of the skirt to be, and mine is 12. Do your own measurements. I forgot a measurement that you'll need. You're going to want to go from the top of where you want your dress to be and just go underneath your boob. That's where the first ruffle is going to be. And mine was 7.5 inches. Okay, this is the pattern I came up with based off the measurements that I took. Obviously, it will look different for your measurements. I also added a curve for the bust because I like a little bit of a V shape for my boobies because I like to show them off a little bit. This is pretty much the pattern. Make your own pattern based off your measurements. Okay, let's do the top part first because I feel like it'll be easier than the skirt. I'm going to cut the same thing out of my lining fabric because I want it to be lined so then it can be all cutesy or whatever. I also just don't want it to be one layer and I want it to look clean on the inside. So, same thing out of your lining fabric. Using the same one, just cut 2. Okay, I've cut out my pattern piece of the fabric and then also of the lining that I'm going to use. We're going to open our fabric up and I'm going to pin all this to make sure that it stays perfect. You're going to want to use your pattern to mark where the channels are going to be for the ruching because you're going to want to leave these open when you sew around the edges. I'm using a fabric pin to mark these so then I know where not to sew. I am going to make my channels about 1/2 inch because I need a little bit of wider straps because I don't like the really thin straps. They tend to like dig into my skin and I don't like that. I am just going to sew a straight stitch all the way around, leaving the bottom open, but leave the channels open. So stop here, do a little back stitch, then go here, do the same thing on all 4 of the channels. Usually you want to use the same color thread, but I wanted y'all to be able to see the stitches. I left the channels open that I marked. As you can see, I left them open. You have to leave them open or you will not be able to get your little ruching effect. I'm going to give this a quick little iron because, I don't know, it's just sewing rolls. I'm going to clip the edges so then it'll be clean. Even though it's ruching, so it's not really going to matter that much. It's just good practice. I'm going to make a few little cuts right here. So then when I turn it the right way, there's no weird bunching. I made a few little cuts. So where your channels are, those openings, you're going to want to mark where, oh, where is my hairbrush? Now that I've marked my channels, I'm going to measure and mark all the way across so I know where to sew. Hopefully you can see my channel lines better. I used a fabric marker and these are the spots where the fabric is open, where I left open. So we'll be able to feed the straps. Yeah, the straps through it, if you can see that. It's open right there. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm just going to sew a straight stitch along each of these little lines. I feel like now you can really see the lines. I'm going to give it a little iron and then we're going to make the straps. I do not know if I need to be trusted with this iron. I almost knocked it down again. I basically just cut a whole bunch of 2-inch strips. Then when I fold it, sew it together, they're about 1 inch long. I'm going to iron these and then sew them together. I don't know why I always say okay. I always edit it out, but I always say okay. I folded the 2-inch strips in half to make them 1 inch, and I'm gonna sew all of them just a straight line down. Leave the ends open so you can turn them the right way. I'm going to sew together at the ends to make it really long. Okay, my husband is working on turning the straps inside out. I am going to thread the straps, well, the strap that I turned inside out and ironed into the top of this. So what you want to do, you see how you have your channel and the part that you left open? Put a safety pin on your strap and then we're going to feed it all the way through. It's looking great. It's looking fabulous. So I have to show y'all because if you're following along making this and you have bigger boobies like me, you're probably going to want to do this too. So originally I had a line straight across. As you can see, I had it straight across here. Well, when I put it on, there was just like a little too much fabric right here. So I seam ripped it and I curved the line upwards and then back down at the sides. So then it's more of like cups. So hopefully this looks a lot better. I am tucking in the raw edges of the end of the sleeves. Not sleeves, what am I saying? Straps. I'm going to give them an iron. In order to attach them, I am going to sew a loop. You just fold it over like this, and then we're going to sew a little thing, and it'll leave a loop that will put this through. I put the straps on. Oh my god, I cannot be trusted with this. I did the little hoops. I did the hoops for the straps.
Can't concentrate.
And I threaded the waistband, or like under the bust, through it. This is what we got so far. Because when we sew the skirt on, I can't decide if I want to do a long or short skirt, but it'll be like this. This is what the back looks like. Hopefully it looks cute. I cannot really see it, but. Okay, I have decided that I don't like the straps in the back. I reviewed the footage and it looks kind of weird on my body shape. I'm thinking I'm just going to do it a halter top and then leave just the one tie in the back. Okay. Oh, you're crooked. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. I feel like this just looks cleaner and I like just the one tie in the back because then we'll have like the skirt right here. In order to make sure this is a clean edge, what you want to do is tuck everything in and it's going to make this like weird little snake looking thing and pin it. A little funky, but I'm just gonna sew straight line all the way across, leaving a little gap in the middle to be able to turn it the right way. We can flip it the right way. Ta-da! Okay, now you got super clean edges. Now, honestly, you could just leave it like this and leave it as a top. I'm gonna make this skirt to make it a dress. You just want to do a little bitty sew right here to sew up the edge. Okay, I want to show you what I did for the top of the skirt because I want a little ruffle. This is how thick my elastic is, but it's really just however thick you want your elastic for your waistband. I folded this over a little bit and then over probably about 1.5 inches because I want to be able to put the waistband in it and still have room for a ruffle when it gathers. So I'm going to do a stitch right here to close this off, and I'm going to do a stitch above it to house the elastic. Now my channel is sewed. You should have something like this. You're going to feed your elastic. I'm using a safety pin to do this because I just find it's the easiest way I know how. And you're just going to feed your elastic through the first little channel. Once you've got your elastic to the end, do a little secure stitch so you can finish feeding the safety pin all the way through. My elastic is all the way through. It's secured on both ends, and this will be the top of the skirt, like this. Yes, yes, yeah. Okay, I want to show y'all the easiest method I know how to do gathers, especially on stuff that's really long like this. You're just going to want to do your regular stitch, and then you're going to want to change the length to as wide as your machine will go. Mine does 5.0. Then what you're going to want to do is while you're sewing, gently pull the upper thread. It'll gather it. Don't pull it too hard or you'll break it. I'm going to do this for the freaking whole 120 inches of the skirt, and I'll be back. Okay, after I gathered the ruffles, I just pinned the second tier to the first tier, good sides to good sides, and I'm going to sew it just straight across with a regular stitch. Okay, I just wanted to show you the top. I added another channel because I have a very long torso. If you don't have a long torso, just skip this step. But if you do, add another channel. Okay, I added all the layers to the skirt. Now, obviously, I don't want all these raw edges, so I whipped out my serger. If you don't have a serger, you can use a zigzag stitch. And I'm going to go over all these edges to make them clean before I sew the side of this. All my edges have been serged, so they're clean. I literally just have to sew the skirt together. All you do is fold it and line up your edges. What the heck am I saying? The skirt is sewed together. Oh, oh my gosh. That is so fun. Let me put on the top. So I know what y'all really want to know is if I was able to make this for $20. Did I succeed in making my dream dress for $20? No, it was $21.74. But I was able to make 2 tops since I didn't attach the other one, and it still looks more like a dress. So for $21.74, I made 2 tops and this skirt. I would say that's a success. So you can totally make this for $20. You don't have to make 2 tops. You know, I wanted to be a little extra. As always, stay fabulous.